back to 2005 and you take that break again, will you take it again?
Maybe not. Because see, I mean, it definitely makes a. I mean, if I was to imagine कि मैंने ज़्यादा काम किया होता या कुछ और होता या लोग मुझे भूलते नहीं या कुछ, I don't know if people really forgot. It was a little difficult for me to come back again. Yes, to find the right project again. But then again, I also feel that if you deserve the work and people know what you've done and what you're capable of, they will come for you.
Chitrangda Singh, thank you so much for joining me at ETimes. This is an interview which was long overdue from my side.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vicky. Always a pleasure.
I have a host of questions for you. Largely a complaint that where have you been, why have you been, very less on screen? And since a very long time, But before that, I must compliment you on the trailer of Bob Biswas. It is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. You are looking great.
Thank you.
Great. The content is looking great.
That is very important. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm so glad even the trailer has a very good response. I'll be very honest, Sujoy, me, Abhishek, we were all, Diya, the director, we were all very nervous because बहुत ही different world है. Is samay, if you look at the OTT releases, you see the kind of films that are coming. I don't think there has been this world or this kind of a crime thriller kind of a thing out there. Yeah. So this was definitely something very different. And Sujoy, we all were a little nervous that पता नहीं लोगों को अच्छा लगेगा, समझ में आएगा कि वो दुनिया है, ये different है, ये एक मतलब usual love story नहीं है. Even though in the essence, Bob Biswas is a love story, but still. But yeah, I mean, the response has been really good. And genuine response, जो भी comment भी कर रहे हैं, genuinely people have kind of liked it. And so yeah, thank God for that because, people kind of make up their mind when they see the first look, the first trailer that's where you make your decision. The audiences decide whether they like the film or they don't like the film, even before watching the film. So I think that for us is a good thing. And yeah, let's see.
Yeah, we do get preconceived ideas at times from the trailers. But you guys having a preconceived idea that, or the apprehension that will this film...
I think more nervousness...
by the audience. But Sujoy is a master of the game at thrillers. Whether it's Badla, whether it's...
Yeah.
Why should he...
Absolutely.
Why should he be in 2 minds?
Well, I think, no, not exactly 2 minds. I mean, he was, I guess, because Diya's first film, his daughter's first film. So that nervousness, of course. Yeah. I mean, he's written the script. Sujoy, it's his story. The script is his. So I guess it's just a father feeling, nervous for his daughter, I suppose, more than anything else. And for me, my thing was that, आजकल ऐसा कुछ content देखा नहीं है. It's been quite some time. So, yeah, like you don't know. You just don't know how the audience is. It's very tough to tell what they're looking for, what they find interesting. But they find this interesting. And I'm just so happy to see the response.
I think he's already given a gift to his daughter. But of course, we shall know soon when it releases. Before that, how did you find Abhishek? What was your first reaction when you saw him in that look? Especially, let's take the exact look when you saw him.
Yeah. No, I actually saw him for the first time. We were shooting at the hospital that day and he was in full attire. And shot ki beech ki baat thi, they were setting up the next shot. And sab log idhar udhar baithe hue the. And I came and I was in my costume talking to, Sujoy and whatever, idhar udhar. And he was sitting there the whole time and I didn't recognize him. I'm not kidding. Aise, baat kar rahe and he's right here. And I'm not kidding you. I really did not know that was Abhishek. क्योंकि मुझे पता था he's coming in this get up and all that and कुछ trials हो रहे हैं ये वो सब पता था, but to this extent and what is the result of it, I didn't know. I hadn't seen that. So I really, and in between shots also I would just like keep looking at him that this is the same person. So yeah, really good job. And even the makeup artist, they flew in somebody from, I'm not sure, but I think from UK, Simone. She's done the makeup and hair. So done a great job, really. It's fantastic.
This reminds me of what happened with his father when he was doing Palm. On the sets, there was a time when people didn't recognize him.
I'm telling you, he looked like a different person. He went up to, I think, 105 kgs. He put on that much of weight. And that's all his weight. There's no prosthetics on the body, on the face, like on his cheeks and everything. It's his own weight that he put on. No prosthetics. So it's really commendable. The transformation was unbelievable. I really couldn't tell that was him sitting in, full costume with the sweater, pehna tha, shirt, everything. Like you see him in the trailer. I couldn't tell that was Abhishek at all.
Okay, so when you signed this film or said yes to the film before signing it, what did you see that gravitated you towards this? Did you also bother about the fact that mera role kitna hai, kitne dialogues hai, kitne scenes hai?
Well, I will be very honest. My first and absolute yes was because Sujoy, I had been wanting to work with Sujoy for a long time. And we had met once. There was some project that he had in mind and that didn't quite work out. So when this came along and, I just like instantly said yes. Of course, I knew the part, that she's going to be Abhishek's wife in the film and that she's, so then of course, then we had a meeting. I mean, the yes was the fact that it is Sujoy's. And then of course we got to the character and everything and what she is and about. And I really think that, Sujoy as a writer writes his women characters really well, like Sudhir. They are, they're not just an arm candy. They're not just there for some, like fillers. Every single character in Bob Biswas, even if it's just 2 scenes, is so well written. And yeah, like I said, the women character. So my character of Mary, his wife in the film, is also really well written. So I was very happy to be, even though I know it's the title is Bob Biswas.
Bob Biswas, but before that, you took Sudhir's name. May I ask you that, are you all on talking terms? There were too many stories that Sudhir and Chitrangda are not working together hereafter ever again.
No. We've been in touch. I mean, in fact, we celebrated Hazaro Khwaishein. It was 15 years of Hazaro. We of course, got, the entire team of Swanand and everybody, Nikhil, everyone came together for that. So no, of course we're very much in touch and there's no such thing.
नहीं, वो पिक्चर के लिए तो सेलिब्रेशन के लिए आप गए, बट वैसे आप लोग टच में हो?
Yeah, we are in touch, of course. He lost his father recently, and we've been in touch. We've been, I have very much been in touch.
When you say that you wanted to work with Sujoy, frankly, I'm not surprised. And as you say, he writes very well. He indeed is a great storyteller and a great editor as well at the same time. In fact, I was having a chat.
Exactly.
In fact, I was having a chat with him the other day, and I complimented him on this trailer. He said, "नहीं यार, ये पूरी director की कमाल है. मैं director नहीं हूँ इस picture का." I said, "Fine, okay." I swallowed it with a gulp. But tell me, was he there on the sets? How much is his contribution to Bob Biswas?
He's the writer, he's the writer it's his script. So he knows every single character really well. So as far as that is concerned, definitely as a writer, he's very much, plus it is also co-produced by Pound Script, which is his company. So he was there the whole time, of course, along with people from Red Chilies. And, but honestly, on set as the shot was being taken and, if it's okay, it's not okay, if something needs to be changed, improvised, whatever. Dia was the director, Dia, his daughter, was the last thing on that. And I was really surprised because she was very quiet and very, sort of calm on sets. And I was like, yeah, she's not really going to push around. So you were like, nahi, ye aise karte hain, nahi, aise karte hain. But she will let you do a variation. She will allow you that much. But then she'll come and very politely go, one more, we'll do this, one more. You can barely hear her. But she was really stubborn about exactly what she wanted. And she'd get that. Plus, when I went and saw the film with the background score and everything done, what she has done with the background score, the way she has told the story has really transformed the storytelling, the story from what we have shot for in the script. It's exactly the same script. It's everything there, whatever we shot for, but the way it's been edited and the music that she's added and the way she's told the story, it's something else. It's very different than what I had imagined, So that vision to have, and it's very young, it's very modern, it's very like the storytelling, the flavor is very different, So that is all Dia, which is amazing, That's commendable for a 26-year-old, really.
I'm just taking this interview now to the next level. Starting from 2005, but I promise you I'll come back to Bob Biswas once again. Starting from 2005, when you took that break from acting till 2008, do you think in hindsight that was a mistake? Let me underline here that you are unarguably a fine actress, a very good actress. I don't think anybody should be even disputing that or have a discussion on that. But tell me honestly, if you go back to 2005 and you take that break again, will you take it again?
Maybe not. Maybe not, because see, it definitely makes a. If I was to imagine कि मैंने ज़्यादा काम किया होता या कुछ और होता या लोग मुझे भूलते नहीं या कुछ, I don't know if people really forgot. It was a little difficult for me to come back again. Yes, to find the right project again. But I don't know, Vicky. I don't know. It's very tough to say. But I lost out on Chalte Chalte. So that was like a dagger, when Shah Rukh told me that they were looking for me. So yeah, I guess I did miss out on some things. Who's to say what would it be? But yeah, if I was to go back, I guess I wouldn't take such a long break. It was too long, too many years. And yeah, I guess things would have been different then, probably. You're right. It's not like I think about it and I regret. I don't think of that so much. No. But how sometimes it happens. आपको पता चलता है, अरे यार वो film हो सकती थी, या I could have been doing this or I could have been doing that. But then, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't want cinema so bad like I want it now if I hadn't taken that break, if I hadn't realized what it does for me, how it sort of completes me. I probably wouldn't have produced Surma. I probably wouldn't have started writing. There's so much that probably wouldn't have happened. And you just can't tell, you can only look back and say, oh, only then, once you lived your life is when you realize, oh, this is what I learned at that point in my life. This is what I learned then. As you're learning, you don't realize all you're doing is cribbing, So maybe 5 years down, I'll be like, oh, good, actually, I took that break. Maybe I had to go through hell and be back to know what hell is and to know what the good thing is in life. So, yeah, no regrets, really.
वो break क्यों था? वो exact reason क्या था break? You were doing fine.
It's personal.
You were doing fine, right?
There were some personal reasons, Vicky, which I wouldn't want to talk about, really. But some family concerns were there, and my mind really was not, I wasn't feeling ambitious enough or driven enough to really be in this city and go out, do films, and I mean, be an actress and live an actress's life. At that point, I just wasn't feeling it. I had certain family situations which I needed to sort of handle, and I just had to be there. I couldn't be in another city and figure my life out. I had to figure certain things back home with the family, and then maybe come back and.
But it wasn't a planned break. Like, it came suddenly. It came abruptly, right? It wasn't a planned break. It's not that you had it consciously at the back of your mind. Abhi to mujhe 3 saal.
No. I mean, there was no. Why would you do that? I mean, I had just done my first film, which was, people had liked it, and no, there was no such plan. No.
Yeah, I don't think we need to name that film Hazaro Khwaishein Aisi. But
yeah,
2011, you sort of, if you want to call it comeback or whatever, you make this comeback. Or rather before that, actually, with Sorry Bhai, which was not...
2010, I think it was.
10, yeah. It doesn't do too well. Then 2011, we see you doing Desi Boys. We see you doing something which we were not expecting. A number in Joker, a number in Gabbar Is Back. Now, was there a conscious effort to move towards the quintessential heroine bracket?
No, Vicky, I don't. I wasn't planning on, that, now I have to change my image, so I have to find a number. And I started calling people, and I said that, no, I want to experiment. And then none of that happened. It was so random. So you're right, Joker happened literally because I got a call from Farah for this. How exactly? It's too long back. I can't remember. I can't remember. Okay, no. So yes, of course. So Farah and I go to the same skin doctor. And it just so happened that I had come early for the appointment, and she was running late into the appointment. She was already sitting for the doctor appointment. And so she walks out, and that's where we meet. And she's like, Ari, this, that, whatever. Farah, as we started talking, oh my God, you look amazing. I love this dusky, da, da, da. So we started talking about skin and everything. So, I think shortly after that, I got a call from her, and she said, listen, there's a song, and we need a really nice, dusky girl with this skin, which is very saucy. And, you've never done anything like this. And it'll be the novelty factor for us. So, and we want the skin color, and it'll be really nice. So, so I was like, I've never done this, this is like completely different. I don't see myself as such an uninhibited person to go out there and do an item, number, so to speak, which is a different body language. The entire physicality is different. So she's like, that's the fun. And, so she literally convinced me, and that's how that one happened. That is exactly how it happened. So she said, why don't you come, listen to the song, see the steps, see the choreography. And we just gave it a shot, and that's how that one happened. And the second one that you're talking about happened because I had been to Bansali's office, and I wanted to work with him. So, it was a routine sort of meeting with Mr. Bansali, and I kind of said that I would love to. And soon enough, I got a call for this song, and he's like, why don't we start, and would you want to do this? And again, it is, who we think like an Indian skin, Indian woman, and that kind of a very sort of hot, sexy avatar is what Kundi was. So I heard the song, and yeah, literally, I mean, that's how that one happened. So I had never thought that I would want to do this and let me go out and try this. What I liked at that moment, it was just that instinct, and I wanted to do it. Like even with Desi Boys, it was pretty much that. So I think I've just gone, like, taken it by the ear. I don't think I've done that much of strategy.
Started you in Chalte Chalte. You are doing Bob Biswas, which is the Red Chilies production.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
She said, I want you for this song. So,
yes.
My next question is, is it that you don't socialize and this makes you pay a price? You're hardly seen in parties. You hardly, I don't know. I mean, this I will ask you. You reach out to filmmakers. As you said, you reached out to Bansari, but do you do that today? Do you?
Well, no, I mean, you're right about that. I don't think I'm a very social person in that sense. And I really, I don't think I'm somebody who would keep calling. I believe that if you know my work, if you've seen my work and I'm here and I would want to work with you. I mean, of course, as an actor, you're here to work, right? So, I mean, people know, right? By now, people know my body of work and what I'm capable of, and this is how I am. And so I just feel that work will come to you. If people want you, they call you, right? That's what my belief is. That of course, I mean, there is no this thing about कि काम मांगने में कोई बुराई नहीं है. But then after a point, if somebody's like, for example, when I produced Surma, I wanted Tapsi. And there were a lot of other names that were getting discussed. But then I was like, no, that is the physical. I've never met Tapsi in my life. I had never seen her or whatever, like in person, but just the body of work. I mean, just how she is, right? So I was, after everybody, like, no, we have to. And even Shad. And so what I'm saying is that when you sit to make, and when there's a creative person sitting to make a project, you know exactly who you want in the film, right? Beyond that, I don't know if, I guess your PR works to a certain extent, and maybe that's my shortcoming, that I probably don't network as much as I probably should be. But then again, I also feel that if you deserve the work and people know what you've done and what you're capable of, they will come for you. And if you fit the cast, and today's time, I guess it's really important for you to fit the cast to get the part. So that's what I believe.
You spoke about Surma. उसके बाद आपने कोई फिल्म प्रोड्यूस नहीं की?
Well, actually, we were planning. There's another one that is still in the planning stages, and it was pretty much going through when we hit COVID. So we were in talks early 2020, and and then it sort of actually October of 2020, when we were very close to announcing it, and then we ran into some trouble, so that fell through. But there is something that I'm working on to put together.
Fantastic. You said no regrets about that break. But let me ask you, when you see certain movies of today, are there any roles? I don't know whether to call it regret here. ये मुझे करना चाहिए था. ऐसे ख्याल आता है?
Of course आता है. I mean, किस actor को नहीं आएगा? Of course आता है. Like, आप मुझे, do I have to name them? Do you want me to name the films?
It's just the thought, I mean, we feel that in journalism, when we read stories in other publications with other journalists, I should have got this story. I mean, any journalist worth his salt would feel that.
No, I mean, well, they are, like, for example, I had really liked Mimi. That was a lovely, I thought that was such a beautiful film. But then it is for a certain character and a certain cast, right? But I would love to do a film which is set in that kind of environment. It is that, I really like that world, which is so real and so organic, So films like that, when I see, I feel like, I would love to do something like that. What else have I seen lately? I really like that one. Do you remember anything? Can you think of anything?
Well, I mean, as I said, you're a fine actress, so I can imagine you in 10 places. But
okay, so tell me which. Tell me which. I mean, lately, you're talking about films like what has come lately? Like you can't think of anything? Can you not think of anything?
no, I mean, it would be unfair for me to say, okay, you should have been doing this.
No, I'm just saying, just suggest me a few names and I will tell you. I can't like remember. I mean, there's some films that you like for the making. Like Paglet was fantastic. I thought it was such amazing direction and writing. I had loved it. Again, similar worlds, like that is what I really enjoy. No, I can't think of anything lately.
Okay.
I can't.
But how do you pass your time at home? You're sitting, you're watching movies. What is Chitrangda doing at home when she's not working, when she's not in the office, when she's not on the set? Is she reading? Is she watching OTT? Kya chal raha?
Definitely watching a lot of OTT, a lot of content. I can watch a lot of things just for other references as well. So I do that. I'm still writing. I'm doing that as well. Otherwise spend time with my family. Mostly it is watching this thing or I'm writing. Like it's one of the two things. If it was about films, if I was to say about films. Otherwise I'm traveling or spending time with the family, just the regular stuff really.
On the set, what do you do? If you're not shooting a scene and you're sitting with your co-star, I'm asking you this interesting question here. I am reminded by a certain incident. I was sitting with an actress and she told me, when you all sit together, journalists, you all talk about us. When we sit together, we talk about you all. Does this happen?
About journalists? No, not really. I mean, like who's written what? Like that?
Whatever.
Not really. No, I don't think I mean, we've not sat and pitched about journalists. No. Just I mean, for example, with Abhishek, we would just talk about just about anything. I mean, he's somebody who can talk about anything. So there was a whole lot of stories. I mean, he was full of stories, and it was like I was getting like a full lowdown on cinema, Indian cinema. It was so much fun. And like Sujoy would talk about his films and how he took certain shots and how it was working with different actors. I mean, we've just stories like that. I personally find these experiences and stories and these little bits very interesting. Nothing very bitchy. No, I'm sorry. We haven't bitched about anybody. Like not the journalists. I mean, not anybody, but not the journalists. No.
That was a question in lighter vein. To conclude with Bob Biswas, what are your expectations from the film?
Well, I think the film... it's a crime thriller. Like I said, the essence of it is a love story, and it's like, how do I say this? I mean, I don't even want to say it is like this kind of a crime thriller, but it's definitely something very different, very exciting. It is very unpredictable, like how most of Sujoy's writing is, So I mean, definitely there is that, and the love story is kind of important. The emotion sort of keeps you, rooting for Bob's character, even though he is a killer, So that is very well written. So yeah, I think people are going to like this.
Thank you. Thank you, Chitrangda. Thank you so much for this lovely interview. I wish you the best of luck in all of your future assignments.
Thanks, Vicky. You've always been very supportive. Thank you.